What's going on, guys? We're back again. It's Wednesday, Football Fury. It's a beautiful day out. Springtime's coming around. The draft is around the corner. It's exciting times. But before we go on, we have Tim back again. We have Fog, May, Josh, and blessing us his presence. It's Dula, aka Kyle Green. What's going on, Dula? Everything's good, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Dula Kuiper is officially here. He's in the building.
I've been coming, make fun of Tim a little bit. You know how that goes.
Yes. Everybody pick on Tim. Tim is the bad guy. Yeah. All right, Tim. I see you have a new hat. Well, how do you feel about Romo playing for
lights up? Take that hat off, please.
You need someone to point the finger at. That's the bad
guy. Wait a minute. This is my training cap hat on. Got the string.
Hey, Tim. Well, what was that tease that basketball team Romo might be playing for?
Hey, you know what? Listen, don't be mad because the NBA finally did something right and let a Hall of Famer play on the last game of the season. You know what? To all you guys who are diehard NBA fans,
it wasn't even Latino.
Tony Romo's presence matched up Russell Westbrook's triple doubles. It's insane.
They lost. What are you talking about? They lost.
It was insane.
But did you win?
Like, they lost the game, Tim. Like, at home, they lost the game thanks to Tony Romo.
It wasn't Romo's fault, though. It wasn't Romo's fault, though. Romo should have played more games. Romo should have played more. So did you see him before the game? He was shooting them threes, lighting it up. He was backing down the whiskey. Oh, did you see that handle? They're like Steve Nash out there.
You're disgusting me right now. You're disgusting me.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
We have a program for you guys.
Beautiful.
So we're talking about what Garrett red flag and the 49ers running back situation.
Yeah, let's start off with some NFL draft talk because 2 more weeks, y'all. We're going to have the draft day party. Della, Fog, myself, Josh, we're going to have the mock draft party. The 26th on Wednesday. We're going to give you a live mock draft.
Yes, sir.
Cannot wait from Della's pick. We all cannot wait for Della's pick. Every time Della picks somebody for us, some of us get nervous. Some of us get very nervous. I really can't wait.
For the Giants round 1, he's 1 for 1 so far, so hell with me, right?
So I'm sorry, what did I miss? I ran after I heard that Tony Romo thing. I had to run a lap around my block real quick. what
Hall of Famer.
Forget the Hall of Famer. Russ, you comparing him to Russell Westbrook with that little light on cap. That's his retirement cap. He's going fishing, bro. That's all he's doing.
Listen. And you know what? Zeke Elliott's skinny jeans look better. Look better than Russell Westbrook skinny jeans. All right.
I see Zeke and Odell Beckham Jr. shop at the same store, huh?
You know what, Della? You're right. You're right. They may shop at the same store, but they talk to different. You know what? Let's not even go there. Let's start. Myles Garrett. And there's rumors going around saying that the Cleveland Browns may not draft or should not draft Myles Garrett. Now, here's the thing, and I agree with that. I know back then I said when Myles Garrett made that video about Jerry Jones trading Romo so he can move up and take him, I didn't think that was funny at all. I think that was low. I wouldn't want to draft somebody who doesn't want to play for my franchise, especially with the number 1 overall pick. Now, here's the thing. Some say that Myles Garrett never really performed against some good teams. Now, I got a couple of notes down here I want to share with everybody here first. Okay, in 2014, he had 11.5 sacks. Okay, 9 sacks was at home, 2.5 is away. Versus ranked teams was 2 sacks versus unranked teams was 9.5. Okay, now we all know when a player starts off hot during the months of August, September, there's a thing called playoffs where we need our star defensive players to show up. Here's the thing. Between August and September, he has 5.5 sacks. In October, 2 sacks. In November, 3 sacks. Let's move on to 2015. He had 12.5 sacks. At home, 7.5. On the road, 5. Versus ranked teams, 2 sacks. Versus unranked teams, 10.5 sacks. Oh, let's go through the months. August and September, 6.5. October, 4. November, 1. December and January, 1. Let's go to last year. 8.5 sacks. At home, 6.5 sacks. On the road, 2 sacks. Versus ranked teams, 2 sacks. Versus unranked teams, 6.5. Between August and September, 3 sacks. October, 1 sack. November, 4 sacks. Now, here's the thing. One thing is that when we at home, I'm grateful you get those numbers. But when you on the road, I want me a road warrior. I don't see no road warrior on this piece of paper right here on his notes. Against ranked teams, you got less sacks against ranked teams. Unranking teams, you're blowing it up. Against your teams, you're not blowing it up. Now, there's more stuff that I wrote down when it even compares to the teams he played. And my God, it was disgusting. It was so bad. It was so bad, I passed gas all over the room. I said, "Holy shit! I don't want Myles Garrett in the number 1 overall pick." I didn't pass gas. My wife wouldn't let that happen. I'll take that out. But it was embarrassing. Now, I'm not gonna say Myles Garrett's future in the NFL is bad, but for the number 1 overall pick, my God, I'm scared.
What I'm concerned about is with Ross Tucker. What he pointed out was that he saw a comment from Garrett to actual ESPN, the magazine, regarding the presumptive number 1 overall pick, intellect. And this is his quote. "I don't think I'm the smartest player in the draft, but if you consider all the things I think about daily, how many things intrigue me and I try to get involved in, I'm up there," Garrett said. Who the hell says when you're a potential top 1 overall pick in the 2017 NFL draft that you're probably not the smartest freaking player? Why would you even put that in your own camp? Why would you verbalize yourself and describe yourself that way? That's just... Anyways, so not only that, but on top of that, Garrett declined on just this Monday to appear as a studio guest on Mike and Mike once he realized that Booger McFarland was going to be in the studio. Later in the day, Garrett appeared on ESPN Radio with Ryan Russillo and Cannell. He explained that he didn't choose to appear on the show because McFarland has shown negativity and bias towards certain teams and players. So Booger retaliated and he said, "Listen, I follow Texas A&M very closely, having worked with the SEC network. Over the last couple of years, I've followed Myles Garrett. I've talked about their team and their lack of toughness, their lack of physicality. It's one of the things I've always looked at in Myles Garrett. Everyone looks at the numbers he put up at the combine. They're outstanding numbers. The athletic ability says he's going to be a Hall of Fame type player. I haven't always seen the athleticism turn into playmaking ability on the football field, nor have I seen the physicality. To me, that's the one question I have. So in a day and age where we're all watching the combine saying, hey, there he is. He's the number 1 pick, best player ever. I'm just a little hesitant, and I always take a step back because I've seen the guy play football. He's a tremendous athlete, but being an athlete doesn't make you a football player. Ask Mike Mamula, who tore up the combine and couldn't break an egg in the NFL. I'm not saying Myles Garrett is going to do that, but just look at the tape. And the tape has said that although he's a tremendous athlete, I just wonder how much does he love playing defensive line and being hit and the collisions that take place time after time. The tape says he's been hesitant to do that over the last couple of years. Now, when you factor that in, also into the numbers that Tim really just gave us, the numbers really don't speak volumes, but I think his words and his actions are speaking a little more on top of those numbers to where those numbers become a little bit more eye-popping, I guess, in a term of sense, or it makes you think more. There's more stories behind those kind of numbers that are populating, especially with those unranked opponents. Is he finding it like a field day? Like, hey, I'm just going to go out and ball against this D3 athlete that barely made an Idaho college team, and I'm just going to go out and get 3.5 sacks because I know I can. And then against tougher competition, does he really not try as hard? I think it's a good question to warrant, and especially when you got these kind of quotes. If he can't face this type of opposition or scrutiny, how is he going to just talk to like anybody in NFL, let alone like a Pam Oliver?
Well, See, it's kind of complicated, honestly, because let me echo on that last point about numbers. Tim only really talked about the sacks, and Josh, you're my guy and all, you really are. But I recall Tim giving every Giants fan crap about Olivier Vernon and his lack of sacks, and the response was, "Well,
Glad you said
there's
that.
more that comes from a defensive end," and there is. So yes, Myles Garrett had 8.5 sacks last year. He also had, I think it was 16 TFLs. Could he get better as a run defender? Yes, he could. But let's not mitigate this guy's talent, right? And yeah, he played in the toughest. He played Alabama, LSU, Auburn every year, right? Played some pretty hard teams. Went up against Cam Robinson. Went up against who else? Sean Coleman, who I forget who he plays for now, but left tackle at Auburn. Went up against some NFL players already. In practice, went up against a Lou Jokel. Cedric Abui. I'm not too much worried about what he'll do on the field. What I'm worried about is, does he really love football? Or is he playing football because he's good at it and he can make some money? He just seems like a really different type of cat. I don't want to bring him up again, but Odell Beckham Jr. is a different cat, but I can tell he loves the game. I can tell when it's game time, he wants to play the game. And he wants to excel on the field. I don't know about Myles Garrett. For all I know, Myles Garrett is using this as a platform to do something else. With that said, in regards to Cleveland, if this were any other team, I would say stay away from them. But, frankly, Cleveland's the same team who in one draft took two very questionable characters and they both busted. And I'm talking about Justin Gilbert, who out of Oklahoma State had some attitude issues and just some overall maturity issues, and Johnny Manziel in the first round took both of them. It just seems like you're looking at Cleveland like, are they really vetting these guys? And then Cleveland's in a tough spot because if you don't go Garrett, what are they really going to do? You're going to go Solomon Thomas? Okay, cool. If Garrett turns around and is an all-pro in 3 seasons and Solomon Thomas is a good but not great player, well, it's going to be Cleveland doing Cleveland again. Who else they got? They're going to take Mitch Trubisky and let that fail in 3 years? I mean, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I seriously think they're sitting there like, yes, Myles, don't go on TV. Do not give us reason to regret doing what the inevitable is, which is taking him at 1. Although, you know what? I'll say this, though. I think, and I'll expand upon it more, I think Jacksonville may be a team that trades up for Myles Garrett at 1.
Ooh.
I'm just going to leave it with what Dilla said because he and I were going back and forth on that on the wall, and he said it. It looks like the guy doesn't love to play the game. He's playing it because he's very good at it. But it doesn't mean that you still don't grab him as the number 1 pick. Adam Schefter reported that, Mitchell Trubisky could be another guy, like Dula hinted at, that they could be reaching for number 1. If I believe Leonard Fournette is an outstanding running back, but is probably out of all the running backs the biggest potential bust in this draft, if there's a quarterback that has Ryan Leaf written all over his ass, it's Mitchell Trubisky. So they have to go Myles Garrett. They have to go Myles Garrett. There's no other option. The guy is the most talented at his position.
Right.
Period.
Well, I take offense, Stella. I thought I was your guy too. We not cool no more. I mean,
get out of here. Get on with it.
You just heard me. You know what? I'm glad you said what you said because I'm gonna back it up on you now, Stella. Here's the thing. Okay, I mentioned numbers because here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Tackle for loss is a great intangible that you always need. But my thing is this: when you look at those tackles for loss, it's against the same bad team that he's superior against. Against the good teams, he don't show it. I'm glad you said what you said. You said the most important piece. We don't know if he loves football. If you know you're playing Alabama, one of the best teams in the SEC, you're going to give it all to show the nation who you are. if you're gonna let down, meaning you don't want to play. When I look at production, I want to see if you got 5 sacks and 1 sack apiece against ranked teams, I'm gonna take that. Versus, okay, you got 54 against something unranked. Now you mentioned Cam Robinson, and he had an offensive line that everybody's saying, well, he's not a tackle, he's a guard, he's too slow. He's ranked. Myles Garrett is ranked number 1 overall pick. Cam Robinson, where he's ranked? Basuto lane, garbage lane. He may go in the 2nd round, some say. So my thing is this. You shouldn't have a problem with Cam Robinson. You should be blowing him away. Now, again, Fox, you come out and say the Browns have to take Myles Garrett. The Browns don't got to take Myles Garrett. And listen, I recall being in the NFL draft, I believe it was 1998, when Paul Tagliabue was the commissioner. And you know how the commissioner, when they say, the Paul Tagliabue went like this, the Giants are now on the clock. Paul Tagliabue turns around. He's supposed to walk away for 5 minutes while the Giants are picking. By the time he turned around, the Giants handed him their card. Do y'all remember who the Giants took? Luke Pettigrew. When they took Luke Pettigrew, the offensive lineman,
We don't have to talk about that.
Oh, please. The whole stadium went crazy. What the hell are y'all doing? And we're talking about a guy who was ranked on a 3rd round, and they picked him in 5 seconds. Like, oh my God, we got to get Luke Pettigrew. So here's the thing. Everybody knows the Browns is bad, and everybody knows they need to build. But you know what? You need to build character. I don't care who you are. Now, here's the thing. If Myles Garrett slips to like the 15 or 16th pick in the draft, yeah, you got to take him. You're not trading up to get him. You're getting a talented guy on the field, but does he want to play? And when he go to Cleveland, is he going? Have y'all been to Cleveland before?
I'm from Detroit. What are you talking about?
Oh, so okay. All right. Pardon me. I went to the Browns game last year. It was nothing but Dallas Cowboys fans. There was Sunday tickets for $2. There was a man in the Browns uniform singing to me, and Ronald.
Someone paid him $5 just to take his extra ticket.
There you go. Listen, understand this. You're going to Cleveland. He doesn't want to play there. Don't draft him. All you're going to have is another Courtney Brown. Remember Courtney Brown, Penn State? Oh, he's great on the combine, the 40, X, Y, Z. When him and LeVar Arrington played together, he got drafted. Stay there.
In all fairness, Myles Garrett has said nothing about not wanting to play in Cleveland. He indicated a preference to want to play. When did he say that? When did he say that?
With the video. He requested a trade from Dallas.
That's bad.
Listen. I interpreted that as more of somebody trying to. Obviously, he's from Texas. He is a Cowboys fan and would love to play for the Cowboys, and that was something more comedic than anything else.
Exactly.
You want to look into that as it being serious?
See,
okay,
I don't find that funny when you have red flags flying about you, and all of a sudden you're smiling on camera.
Yeah.
Dallas, please.
Let me ask you a question.
Do anything.
Let me ask you a question.
Josh, the red flags weren't flying about him until after that video.
Doesn't it make the video even more suspicious about his overall love for the game?
Sean, mute Tim real quick.
You're wrong. Bob, you're wrong, Bob. What's red flags about him? You know who started the red flags? 2 Minute Warning Fury started the red flag. We said this at our mock draft special. Did we not say this, Josh? And I know Della was saying some of the things earlier. We said it. We said it before ESPN. We said it before Fox Sports. We said it is the problem with Myles Garrett. We said that. We spoke
Hold
about
on. Let me say this. If Malik Hooker came out and said, "Oh, I'm from Pittsburgh. I want to play for the Steelers," is that really a problem?
No,
Says the same thing.
It's stupid. As much as you want to play for your home team, you just don't come out and say it like that because it shits on the organization that is going for you or is interested in you. And never, ever, if I'm a number 1 pick in the NFL and this is my business that's about to be paying me millions for years on end, hopefully, and guaranteed money, I'm not effing around with another owner saying, "Jerry, please get me out of Cleveland. Anything you could do. LOL. This is comedy." It's not funny. Like you're really like shitting on your own personality and your reputation. It's not going to be comedic anymore, especially when more red flags keep coming about this kid.
I hate to bring this very thing up, Josh, and I really do hate to bring this up, but is that not what Eli Manning did himself?
His dad did it more so, yes.
Well, his dad did it, yeah.
I don't think he came out and made a video on Black Sports Online and said,
"That's true. He didn't do that. No, he didn't."
You know, I'm sorry, I can't even think of our owner's name. John Marr, Steve Tisch, do anything you can to get me to New York, please. I hate San Diego.
And you know what? And it's different if you're being like Ezekiel Elliott. He was interviewed at the Super Bowl, and he's asked, "Offensive line, would you like to run behind?" Oh, the Dallas Cowboys offensive line is the best in the league. This thing, you're being asked a question. You're not volunteering yourself to do a video, and you're begging, "Oh, please!" And then the nerve to say, "Please trade Tony Romo." Wow. Ultimate disrespect. Now, I remember Dak Prescott when was in college, and he tweeted Tony Romo for Romo messing up in one of the playoff games. He says, "Wow, I would have made that throw." That's something he was a freshman year. The minute he got drafted, he went up to Romo and said, "I apologize, I was young." Romo said, "Nah, you was being a critic. Nothing wrong with that." But we're talking about Myles Garrett. Please trade for me. I please, you're back with a prayer. Please. I'm not taking him. I'm not. That's not a joke.
Let's move on to the 49ers running back situation.
Why are we talking about them?
Good question.
Sarita and Nate Cobb.
I didn't even have a response to that, man. He was so serious. He said, "Why are we talking about that?" Oh shit, man.
Yeah, why are we talking about the 49ers?
Let's talk about something else.
They're terrible.
Well, you know what? Well, listen. Carlos Hyde is on the trading block. Listen, he got injury history, but he's on the trading block. Maybe a good team might get him like a third-round pick. He's a good running back when he's not injured. I think it's a good move if somebody want to mortgage for him. I mean, is he
Philadelphia trade for Carlos Hyde? I'll take him.
Listen, he's a good running back when not playing hurt. He'd be on a better team. And he was drafted in the second round. You probably get him for a third or fourth round pick. You know, he never played for Shanahan. Shanahan needs to be worried, I want a first round pick for him. I see why not. It's a solid back. And you can still draft somebody.
49ers, Carlos Hyde, I mean, he's not the greatest back, but he wasn't like god awful last year. He still had a 4.6 average. I mean, his receiving is in the best numbers, but that's probably what they need more so in San Fran is a pass catching back rather than like a power running back. And is Fournette really going to be a compliment to the 49ers team? I'm not so sure. Fournette and Hyde are a great tandem together because they're kind of virtually the same dimensional kind of running back, except Fournette is a better catcher.
But are they going for Fournette or are they going for someone like Dalvin Cook?
Dalvin Cook has been kind of slipping off the boards, hasn't he, in some recent talks? I don't know what the reason is, but overall, I thought Dalvin Cook was pegged to go towards like the Indianapolis Colts around that section. So,
yeah.
Dula Fogs, what do you guys got? What's your insight?
My insight is that the 49ers are trash as an organization, and they can't not trip over their own feet. Come on. Like, all right, let me not be a troll for a second and get to the question at hand. If San Francisco is sitting there at 2 and they have a ton of options, let's say Myles Garrett is off the board. Because if Cleveland went elsewhere, I really think because San Francisco, you forget, is moving to a 4-3 defense. So they need edge rushers. So look, if they're sitting at 2, Solomon Thomas is very attractive. Yeah. They need help in the secondary. Jamal Adams is attractive. Malik Hooker is attractive. Marshawn Lattimore is attractive. There are so many more options that make sense than to take a running back. The running back position in San Francisco is the least of their worries. Yeah. Look at them across the board. They don't have a quarterback. As much as I dog Mitch Trubisky, I think, honestly, if you're asking me, I think he's the 5th best quarterback in this class. You know, some will fight me over that, but I think I can name 4 better than him. Wow, there are just so many. There are just so many more needs than running back. Think about the impact that a running back would have over there and Shanahan's offense. you could literally put a body there. It doesn't matter. They're going to try to throw the ball downfield. And they don't have any weapons to throw the ball downfield, nor do they have a quarterback. I just don't get why you would burn your number 2 overall pick on Leonard Fournette when, for whatever, he could bust out pretty easily. 2 is too high for Dalvin Cook or Christian McCaffrey. I think Cleveland and San Francisco, I'll say the same thing. Sometimes you got to stop overthinking yourself. You just got to take the right player. I think at 2, the right player is Solomon Thomas or Jamal Adams.
Not Jonathan Allen?
I think he's in contention. I think teams are going to start looking at it. Well, the problem with John Allen is a lot like Arik Armstead and DeForest Buckner. In a 4-3 alignment, he'd slide to the inside. Those 2 are going to be on the inside. They need someone on the edge. I don't think John Allen is an edge rusher.
And doesn't he have that arthritis scare now?
Yeah, I think that'll drop him a little. I still think his talent. I still think he's too good to fall out of the top 10. But yeah, I think that at 2, he would be in play if it wasn't such a log jam they'd be putting themselves in at defensive tackle.
I think we're getting a little scoop of Bella's mock draft, and it's that sounded interesting right there. I ain't gonna lie for what he got going on. But Dalvin Cook, there's reports saying that he's slipping through because of this off the field thing where he was mistreating his dogs, not taking care of them. They was chained up, not feeding them. And then he had an issue with he was charged with battery. He was suspended. Some people doing their homework on him. He's still hanging with the wrong types of people and stuff like that. So that's why he's sliding up the board. In my opinion, is this: as a Cowboy fan, we take talented, troubled players. If you have a good support system where you're gonna bring a guy in and try to help him mature and things like that, go for it. Just look at Randy Moss. That's one of the biggest mistakes I could ever say Jerry Jones made. And this, I was reading some articles where it was Jason Garrett's brother, John Garrett, who was arguing with everybody in the war room, cursing them out, like, how you don't take Randy Moss? We have Michael Irvin with trouble. Just keep doing what you're doing. You got good guys who don't pan out, but Dalvin Cook is slipping. He says that the Philadelphia Eagles are the most attractive. Who's interviewing him, looking at him, and stuff like that. And it's like I told Fogman, Howie Roseman is probably the best GM the Eagles ever had in a long time. Very active. Sometimes can be too active, but very active. So, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with Dalvin Cook.
But like I said, back to the 49ers, it's a dumpster fire there, and they're in a position where if they don't overthink this, they could walk away with a very good player. If they do overthink this, they're going to still be a dumpster fire.
And let's not interpret everything that's going on right now, because everybody is trying to find things right now, football season wise. And so everybody is trying to look and dissect and read between the lines that are between the lines to try to find stories in this particular case.
Overanalyzing, absolutely.
Yes, exactly. So let's look at the reality here. The first 4 picks in the draft, the reality is not a running back or a quarterback are going to go off the board. So all this other stuff is just
better yet,
generate talk.
That's what shouldn't happen. I really think.
If the Bears listen, Dolo, I know where you're going with this. If the Bears go after Trubisky, that's go. No, because I'm on board with Dolo. Remember, I'm doing my mock 2.0. I did my first mock, and I'm gonna tell you right now, my first mock, I struggled with. I left Trubisky out of the first round. Understand that in the top 10, I struggled with 3 teams saying, "Damn, these guys might take him. These guys might take him. These guys might take him." So he may very well go in the first, not just in the first round, top 10.
Yeah, teams are desperate, man,
Fog,
especially in this day and age with the offensive passing, and people are always looking at people. Oh man, that's what makes the draft so interesting. Owners are people too, man. They act
after
on feelings.
analyzing everything, Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback coming out of this draft.
Listen, please. Let's not spoil. Let's our NFL mock draft. It's pay-per-view.
Well, I'm not gonna listen. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I would cast my vote for Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in this class.
Let's do it. Let's get it.
You see why you had to do that? Because now we're gonna get
a little red rock.
I never said he was going. I never said he was in the first off the board. I think he's the best quarterback in the class. I said nothing about.
I got him at 2.
Hey,
I got him at 2.
I call him Slender Man.
Fog man, come on, Fog.
I got him at 2. I changed my top 5 quarterbacks. I changed that whole shit. I looked at it in Mahomes and watched.
I changed it like 37 times, but I changed it.
Listen.
I was posting.
That's all they need to know. I love your mock draft too. I love your mock draft, Dulla. Do not spoil it, Dulla. I see in your eyes. You want to let it out? Don't do it.
Okay.
Let's throw it away. April 26th on Wednesday, 8 p.m. the night before the draft. We're gonna have a live mock draft. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be special.
It'll be we'll have wings and beer before the official draft.
Yes. And on the 27th is gonna be our draft party. We're gonna get loose. We're gonna get wild.
I guess we should wrap it up for the next down, just to let you guys know. Sarita just jump on and said that she doesn't care about Dula's opinion about the 49ers. Just
she shouldn't care. They're 2-4. Hold on, no. Let me say something. They're 2-14. No one gives a goddamn about my opinion. They shouldn't, because they're 2-14. So that says enough. They're terrible. What good teams are 2-14? Get out of here. They suck.
And by that, we'll see you guys in the next down.
Wait, I didn't realize it was Los Angeles Rams Day today. It's 4/12, everybody.
That was him.
Just let you know.
That was him. That wasn't me.